Hey guys, what's up? NPS3D here and welcome back to another exciting tutorial. Today we are going to create something like this. Alright, so I hope you really enjoy this preview, and if you want to know more about the CGI visual effect, we have a course called Modern Visual Effect. You can go and check it out because I have a lot of stuff in that course, so that will help you a lot in your CGI and VFX journey. But today we are going to see how we can create this cool looking fire simulation inside Blender without any third-party plugin, So yeah, let's get started. I am using Blender 4.3. So first we need the character. So for the character I will use Mixamo. This tutorial is inspired by this guy and this was looking really cool, and I guess he made this using Houdini, but I will try to create something like this in Blender. You can go to the Mixamo sign in and you can choose a character. So for the character you can go to the character tab and choose a character. So here you will see a bunch of characters. So you can pick any character and go to the animation part, and here you can pick any animation. So I choose running one and make sure to click on in place, so you can see it is running on a single place. So this is what we want. And for the treadmill you can go to the Sketchfab and download this model. I will provide the link in my video description, so you can go there and download it. So let me close these things, and this is Blender. So first let me import our character. So I'll go to the file, import, and choose FBX, and this is our running FBX. So I will click on import and it will import our character. So you can see this is running and stop. Here you can see it stop. So to keep this running in a cycle mode, so it will keep repeating the same step, click here and go to the graph editor, and here I'll press A to select everything and press Shift E and choose cyclic F modifier, and here you will notice, you can see our character is now keep running and running. So this is what I want. The next step is to start creating the smoke. I have a very good detailed tutorial about the fire and smoke simulation inside Blender that was around 55 minutes long, so you can go there and check it. On that tutorial I also covered the basics of the fire simulation, so that was really good. Even when I was making this tutorial, I go through that previous tutorial to check the details. So here I'll switch back to the timeline mode, and I'll press Shift A and create a mesh just to check the human size. So I guess this is good size. So next step is to add the smoke simulation, and later we will arrange our scene and I will add the camera and etc. So here if you'll see all the character part in a separate mesh, so I will simply select everything and I will press Ctrl J and I will join them. So everything is now one mesh. Next step is I will go to the object quick effect and I will choose quick smoke. So you will notice we have a smoke domain, we have a smoke boundary. Actually I will simply position this upward a bit, and you can see it's perfectly here. And if I'll go little bit far away, you can see our character is emitting the smoke, but we want more detailed smoke and fire. I will select the character, go to the physics property, and here in the flow type you can see it is set to smoke. I will change this to the fire and smoke. Go to the previous frame, the first frame, and you will notice we have smoke and fire as well. As if you first time creating this fire and smoke simulation, you can see how easy this is in Blender. To control the simulation resolution, the quality, I will select the domain, and here is resolution. This is actually the quality of our fire and smoke. So if you will increase this, it will increase the quality of our simulation, but it will cost a lot of speed. So here if I'll change this to the 64, you will notice, let me go to the first frame, you can see this is a bit more precise and looking. You can see, you can now notice all the flames. I can go 1 to 8. You can see this is also shrinking the shape and try to get the actual shape of our character. So you can see, and right now you can check our speed is also slow. Changing all the setting, I will work in 64 resolution, and later for the final bake we will change this to the 128 or around 200 to get the more crispy and good looking simulations. So here resolution, the time scale is basically the speed of your simulation, and if you will hover over your cursor on any of the parameter, it will let you know the what this parameter actually does. And still if you confuse, you can move your cursor on any parameter and you can press F1 and it will bring you to the Blender documentation where you can read what this actually what this number actually does or what this setting actually does. So I will leave this into 1 for now, and here in the border collision I will make it bottom, so it will collide with our bottom. And there is buoyancy, density and heat. So right now you can see our smoke is rising upward, but I want to make it downward, so I will reverse this number in negative direction for the both. And let me go to the first, and you can see now everything is going downward and we are getting somewhere. Let me increase our boundary, so I'll press SX, or basically I can go to the edit mode of this domain, this box. I can press SY and I increase this, move it around here, and I can also just make it downward. Too much I guess. So let me play. So you can see this smoke is always going, never ending smoke actually. To control these things, we have a feature called dissolve. If I'll enable this, based on this number it will shrink our smoke. So if this number is too small, our smoke and fire will not go as much as you can see here, it's limiting. But we want our smoke back, so what I will do, let me hide the floor and grid. So I will just make this number to 12. So you can see we are also getting our smoke here. You can see, hope it's clear. Let me reposition this even more good ways. GY actually a bit upward here. So I like this. Now you will notice this smoke and fire is also going in both directions, left and right, but I want to control in a separate direction. So I have two options. The first option is I can select this character and go to the physics properties, and here you will notice we have a different settings for this character. So I will enable initial velocity. So now our smoke is also try to follow the character movement. Here you will notice, and also we have our option in the normal. So in the normal I will add 0.5. It will work based on our normal as well as, and here this is initial XYZ. So in the Y direction I'll put 5 and let me play. So you will notice now our fire and smoke is going in the negative direction. I mean in the Y direction. So let me make 2 because I don't want to go too much further away. So here you can see this much is looking good. I don't want this much of fire here. Here you can see. So in the fuel option I'll add 0.5. So there will be less fuel. So here you can see our fire is not going too far away, but our smoke is going. To control the smoke, what I will do, I will simply go to the domain settings. So I will select the domain, and this is dissolve. So I'll just limit this number to around 10. So kind of I like it. Later we will also modify this. So I like 8 over here. And this is vorticity. Basically, this is a kind of a turbulence. So here maybe I can add 0.1, just a bit, and let's see. So yeah, it's okay, fine for me. After the changing these parameters, I have a effect which we left previously is called adaptive domain. So the way it works, it basically cover only that particular area where our smoke and fire is emitting. So right now if I will play, you will notice our smoke and fire is emitting only kind of this area, start from here and then it goes to around this area. But from the beginning here, if I'll change this, from the beginning you can see our domain is covering this area and calculating this much area, which is time consuming and taking basically power to calculate that information. So adaptive domain is a good tool. So if I enable this, you will see our boundary box domain size is covered only that area where the smoke is rising. So you can see, and based on that smoke it will keep increasing or decreasing. So it is a good one. So you can definitely do it. Here maybe I will add a resolution in 2. So let me play. After that there is a one more option called noise. Noise is an option, as a very good option, without bumping the resolution. Here you can see the resolution. We can add details using this noise feature. So let me press Control 3, go a bit close, and let's add the noise. So you can see before and after, you can see all the edges has some kind of a noise and turbulence. I will reveal the settings, and this is the strength. So I will just make it 0.2. So there will be less effect of this strength. Scale I will make it 0.2 as well as, or maybe 1, and leave these things as well as. So let me play and you can see, really nice, you can see. So I guess this is all from the setting purposes. Now to check the magic, we have also one option called cache. So in here, let me create a new folder. Cache will be saved over here, and here let's make it 100 in starting. So change this end frame. To bake it, here I'll change this to the all, and if I'll click bake, it will bake it. So here you can see. So if I'll play, you can see our smoke and fire is playing, and this is what actually the this baking done. Cache once again, and let's free all, and in resolution let's change it to the replay so I can see what's going on. So I noticed previously the flame was too high, so I will select the character, and in the fuel I will just make it 0.25. so basically I make it even less. So replay, and let's change this to the resolution to 66. So now you can see, so now our flame is a bit low. This is what I want. So let me change the resolution to 128 for now, and let me play and see. So you can see, and let's bake this simulation. So let me go to all and bake all. It will take a couple of minutes, but it's fast. So let's wait for it. So you can also add forces like turbulence and wind to control your simulation in particular direction, or add extra details. But I am good till here, and if I will need, I will add, otherwise I will leave it. So once our baking is done, let me play and see. So this is looking really nice. We can enhance everything even more, but let me build our scene, and also let me show you how we can texture it, and later we can tweak a couple of things, and then we will render these things. So Ctrl S to save, and let me rename. First let me import our treadmill. So I'll go to the file, import gltf, and I guess this was the treadmill. So I will press S and scale it down. Press 3 for the left view, and just move it a bit down. So let me show you how you can do the texturing. So go to the rendered mode, and this is set to EV by default, and looking really nice. But I'll go to the cycles, I change GPU, and here you will notice we basically we have lost our fire. So I will change this as a shader editor, and I will select our domain, and you will notice we have already principal volume plugged in, and our fire is inside black body intensity. Here you can see, let me make it 12, and you will notice we have fire back in. But I have another option to do the shading for the volume or fire, smoke, anything. So press Shift A and add a volume info node. Basically this info node contain all the information which is available over here. So it has density information, flame and temperature. So I'll plug this flame into the black body intensity and we will get the same result over here. But I will plug the math node and plug in between the node, and I will change this to the multiply. So if I'll increase the number, it will increase the intensity of the, here you can see smoke. I will add another node called color ramp to control these things. So I will change this to the constant, and I will just reverse this, and you can see we have a different kind of look going on. Here you can see. So you can see this is looking really nice. And after this I can also go to the amateur and hide our character body so I can only see our smoke and other stuff. We don't have the lighting, so for quickly I will go here and enable scene world. So I have scene lighting going on, and also I just make the strength a bit, and this is the color. So I can make the color bright or dark as per my need. I can also select this 3 input and Shift D to duplicate and plug the same thing into the emission strength, and here I can plug this as a density, and also I can just reverse this. So you can see we are also creating a extra shape for the simulation, and here I can just make it ease. So with the help of emission we separated this shape, and now in the color I can just plug a fire kind of a fire color, and here I can increase the intensity, just make it down a bit and increase this intensity. So it will be like our fire with some extra flame going on. Let's unplug these things, and I can only focus on the density slider. So you can see if I increase the density, it make our simulation more denser. So let me select these 3, and let me select this Shift D and plug this density here, and let's add a math node, plug this and make it multiply again, and if I increase the number it will do the same thing, but you can see it's a bit more precise than previously. And here I can also add the color ramp, so I can even see I can even control it even more. So now let's plug this as a black body intensity and plug this as a emission strength. So you can see I can shrink this emission, I can shrink this emission even a bit low, so we can also focus on the density stuff. Let me increase the density. So you can see here we are really getting something, and this is looking really nice. So based on this you can see how easily we are controlling every simulation, I mean everything, and this is looking really nice. Color is still I can play and just make it white, bright and dark. So let me make it something around here. There is 2 more things which is left, so I will go to the render properties, and here in the light path node I will add 2 sample in the light, so it will catch more light, and here you can see our result is a bit more different and we are really noticing these areas. So this is before, this is after, you can see. And also this is anisotropy, so I can play with that as well as, so somewhere around 0.7 I guess. So this is looking really nice, and later I will bake it even more resolution. Here I am going to increase the black body intensity, strength. Let me hide the black body intensity, and let me click one more by control, click here, and let's add the black. So basically I am shrinking these factors, so I can only focus on these flames. So you can see, this way I can really target that flame without affecting these black body. So let me make it 12, let me 25, 12 actually. One more thing for the rendering purpose, go to the volume and just make the step render to 5 or 6 and just change this to the 256. These things will help you to render more faster. So let me go to the timeline, and let's go to the solid mode, and let's create this will be the smoke, and select hierarchy plus M and just move this into a new collection called I guess Treadmill. And let's first create a plane, and basically this will be our table. So something like this, shift A and let's add a camera, control alt and number pad 0 and press N, go to the view, camera to view, and just frame it. What else I can do, I can select our camera, press M and move this into the new collection called camera and light, and let's create it. Go to the camera properties, and in the viewport display we have a guide, so I will enable rule of third and I'll place it around the center close to this area, and uncheck it, passes part out to 1. I can also enable and disable it from here. Looking really nice, and you can see we don't have camera animation, so I want to add camera animation because later we will only build our scene, and it will be good if we want to check anything. Every other things are already set up. So I'll move this table a bit over here. So this is good. I'll go to the edit preferences, and in the extension tab I will simply search camera Shakify. Here you can see, let me update this, and in the add-ons make sure this is enable. Sorry for the background noise. So I'll go to the camera, and in here you will also notice a camera Shakify. I'm really sorry for the background noise. Click on this plus icon and it will add a camera kind of animation. So let me first disable our fire and smoke simulation, so it will render it a bit faster. You can see, let me enable the wireframe. So this is adding a camera animation, and here I can play in the influence and also the speed. So let's make the speed 2 and let me show. So you can see, or let's 1 is fine, so it will add a subtle camera movement. So I'm good with this. Let's add other things as well as, so I am using Blender Kit add-on because here I can easily import new stuff. So here I will create a new collection called objects, and here I will quickly search one by one and I will add it. I can click on the filter tab and choose free first, so it will show all the free result first. So I'll use this one, just move it around here and scale it RZ180, and my goal is to show this character and the simulation a bit smaller. So I will place everything bigger around him, around this character, so it will look nice. And I will also add dollar I will add this one as well as place it around. I can also create one more view so I can easily see if everything is on the top or not. So I can also rotate this to make it more random, and if you want to duplicate anything, just select hierarchy, shift D to duplicate, and just move this second part over this side. I'll add also the cube, and let me add this one which is unsolved. Basically scale it and control just to Z. I will add kind of books, and there are a bunch of books, so I'll use this one around this much. I can also add some pen like this one. I can also use this one. So you can see quickly we created a scene something like this, and this is really nice, and I will see if I have something else. So I guess our scene is complete, and yeah, this is looking really nice. So this everything is pre-textured. Let me set off the wireframe mode. Select here, go to the material tab and add a wood. Maybe this one. I'll go to the shader editor, and here I'll just make it 1. So I like this one, and the only thing I want to rotate this, so let me see, this is the rotation. So let me make it 90 degrees. Okay, so this is nice. Now the next part is, since our character is moving on this treadmill, I also have to animate the texture of the treadmill, because that only then it will look like it is moving. Press tab to go inside the edit mode. Go to the face selection, and I will select this face, and if I will press L, it will select all the linked faces with this, and press F3, separate by selection, and I will go to the treadmill and select hierarchy, Alt P, clear and keep transform. So I will delete all the nulls, and now we have this road part is separated, you can see. Now I want to animate the textures so it will look like it's moving. So I'll solo this, go to the rendered mode over here, and hide our wireframe, and let me duplicate and remove this material, and let me add a new road material, and in the base color I will use Voronoi and change this to the smooth, and I will just increase the scale. Select this, Control T, and in the X and Y I will just play with this. So with shift I can go a bit slow, or I can also play with the UV if I want, and let me, yeah, UV looks good. So something like this in value, and I can play with the scale details. Here I can also change this to this something else. Let me go this one. Let's add a color ramp node in between and just crush this. I can increase the roughness, and I can change this white color to black, so it will look something like a road. I can play with the smooth and randomization, and after this we have location. So I will press shift, and you can see this is moving in Y, but I want in X direction, so I will animate this. So let's create one more slider and change this to the timeline. Go to the first frame, press I to add a keyframe, go to the very end, and let's animate this around 36. Let's add I. Select this node A, T, and make it linear, and if I'll play, you can see this is moving. And if I'll make this render mode on and enable our characters, if I'll play, you can see this is moving. I will go to the EV mode so I can see clearly. Okay, so you can see, let me play and zoom this. You can see this is looking really nice. So our simulation is done, our model and texturing is done. Now let's work in the lighting, and I am doing this very uneven way. So let's collapse this and let's change this to the timeline and hide this by enabling scene world. So now it will only catch the scene lighting. So go to the world tab, and here I will use environment texture. Go to the open, and I will load this EXR version. I downloaded it from Polyheaven. So you can see we have lighting back into our scene. I will just go to the world properties once again and make the strength point 2. And I can also rotate this. To rotate this, I have to go to the shader editor and world, select this texture, Ctrl T, and now I can just rotate this. So I like this one because I am planning to add extra light. Press unsolo these things, and let's add a new light, and this will be spotlight. Just move it up, go to the light properties and increase the intensity 1000 or maybe something like 10,000. So this is super bright, and I will just rotate this and just plug it around this side. So you can see we are really getting something like this. To make the shadow softer, I can make the radius a bit high, so it will make the shadow softer. So I like this result, and this is looking like morning scene. But to make it look even more cool, what I can do, I just make it even more behind and upside a bit, and I will create a kind of a window. Sorry for this, I just forget, I lost in the creation. To create the window, I'll create a new plane and just make the size bigger, something like this. Apply the scale and go inside the edit mode and subdivide by clicking right click, and like this, press I and insert these faces, and click I one more time and leave this and click here and make it individual, and I and just Control Z, press I, and basically press I, and I want to create a bit something like this, and press EZ, press I one more time, and with holding shift I will just make it a bit low. Press delete and delete all the faces. So now I have something for the window, which I will place RX90, place around here. But let me hide this and let me enable this. So if you'll notice the area, let me rotate this. So you can see based on the spotlight, this is behaving differently, and these parts are behaving differently. So let me press M and move this into a light collection, and also select this and move this into a light collection. I will hide the spotlight and I will create a new light called sunlight, and I have to rotate the direction only. And you can see we are getting shadow a bit evenly. Let's make the strength 12 so you can see the shadows. And here you can see it's up to me how I want. So I can select this, Control A, and apply the scale and just make this bigger, so we will get kind of a bigger window, doors, something like that look. Control A and apply the scale. Let me increase the scale. So I can go with these, you can see, or if you are not happy with the sun, I can hide this and I can use this this light, you can see, and this is also looking really nice. So it's up to you how you want, and based on that you can just keep working, I guess. So I like this result with the spotlight. Let me add the sun and let me make this strength 5 and angle 2. So yeah, I really like this, and you can see now the the next step is to also make some render settings. So here in the render properties, I'll just make it 256 and make sure in the light path to set in the volumes, and these are checked in, and everything is, I guess, good. Enable denoise, and in the rendering also enable denoise. Advanced, make it blue noise, and this is nice. Let me go back and enable our, you can also give some time and correct this treadmill, but I'm okay with this. Let me enable this. So this is the result, and if you think this is the daytime and this thing is not pop, so you can make the intensity low of the light. So I will go to the sun and I will hide this, go to the spotlight and just make it less, and in the environment tab I can also make it less, and maybe in this spotlight I can change the color to something like blue and increase the intensity, so it will feel like this is nighttime kind of a look. So it's up to you how you want to imagine your scene and how you want to make it. For the more clarity of your smoke simulation, here you can see how this is actually looking or behaving. I can also enable this, but I can go to the view and viewport render animation, and it will render this viewport, and we can play it to check the simulation speed and overall look, and if you are happy, only then you can render it. So let's wait for it. This tutorial is longer. Again, there was a lot more to cover in this tutorial, that's why it's a bit long, but I really hope you like it and you are learning. So once it's done, go to the render view animation, and you can see this is looking really nice. The only thing I'm noticing, if the speed, you think the smoke speed is a bit high, you can go to the time scale and just make it less. So let me show you how you can do it, and then we'll do the final bake. So I will select enable this overlay. I will select this domain and go to the physics properties, and first I'll go to the cache and make it free all, and in the settings I will go and make the time scale to around 0.7, so it will be 30% slower speed actually, and 128 resolution is fine, but I will bake this time 180, and I guess I'm happy with these things. Dissolve, it is fine. Let's bake all, and before baking all, once you are done, you can go to the output properties, and here you can define the file format, and you can also define the color management over here as well as, and you can decide a directory where you want to save, and you will go to the render and render animation, and it will save it. So let me final bake it, and I will show you the final preview until then. But before going, I will show you the final bake, and don't forget to check out our amazing CGI course. Smoke domain and bake all. So our tutorial is ready because I am recording this, and very soon it will be sorry. YouTube channel. I just basically. So go there and check it once it's available. Basically, you can see I just recorded let me hide the music first. So you can see I just recorded kind of a story thing to share with our audience, like I'm recording this tutorial and soon it will be live. So yeah, once it's available. So our baking is almost done. Basically it's done. And this is processing because I'm going to share it. And now, so why are you waiting? Let me show you the result. So you can see our simulation is a bit slower. Based here you can see the FBS. So one thing I just missed, which you can do. So you can select your basically the object and go to the here in the fluid, enable it and make it a factor, and just make sure this is set to collision. And you can also increase the surface thickness, and so after that it will react, also make deduct your collision geometry and it will work. But I forget it, so no worries, I will before rendering I will just check it. But here let me enable the rendered view so we can check it. So you can see our smoky, oh my god, you can see this is almost going to take fire. So our fire is too much, so I will also reduce it later. But overall I like it. And one cool thing before closing this video I want to say, if I'll go to the render properties and let me hide this and go to the color management, here is view transform. I can change this to this one, and I can make it medium low contrast, and I can play with the exposure and gamma. So here you can see this is the look is completely changed. I can also go to the standard one, and I can make it medium high contrast and just play with this. And for the rendering I prefer Aejuice. Let me reset as well as, and just make it low contrast. So yeah, this is all from my side. I hope you really enjoy and learn something. I am Ready, and I will see you next time with an amazing tutorial. Keep working, keep smiling guys. Bye bye, and take your health. Bye bye.